I've been in the fire service a long time.
How many years?
I start my 56th year in November. Most of what I do is making sure the operations are run as efficiently as you can get them to run, and I strive to every day to get up and make them run better. That's one of my goals every day, to fix whatever we had go wrong the day before and try to get that to be perfect.
I've been a volunteer firefighter for just over 30 years here at West Brighton Fire Department.
I've been a West Brighton firefighter for going on 6 months now.
We got married, had our pictures, a couple pictures done at the firehouse, and eventually I'm a volunteer now. I don't know what happened, but
She saw how fun it was
I
running
guess
out the door
so.
at 3 o'clock in the morning, and she wanted to do the same thing.
I joined back in 1979, so I've been in about 32 years or so.
We have a kind of a unique fire department. We have just about a little bit of everything. You know, we have hotels, motels, schools, a lot of business.
The volunteers have a tendency to be our neighbors, our fellow citizens. They have a sense of the community. They know the people.
Residents are neighbors that are involved with protecting us.
Everybody is working to protect their communities. We are protecting our community.
Some of them have been firefighters, volunteer firefighters, for 52 years. They know their community. They know the people in their community.
Our volunteers have gone out there on weekends, holidays. They've pumped our basements. They came around at Christmas time. They are out there saving lives.
When you have firefighters from the community serving the community, there's a sort of passion and a sort of heart that goes in behind it.
It's interesting to be, not only somebody that lives in the community, but actually somebody that serves the community.
It brings the community together, especially in times of storms or other maybe natural disasters where the citizens might not even call for the fire department. We're going to be there. We're going to be driving down the street. We're going to be asking people if they need anything. Do they need their basement pumped out? Do they need that tree cut and moved off their driveway?
I get happiness and a rush just by helping people. I don't come here for a paycheck. I don't come here because I have to. I come here because I want to.
That's the camaraderie of a volunteer. Everybody's always wanting to go help somebody.
My name is Kelly O'Connell. I'm a West Brighton resident. And I've been involved with them quite a bit, by chance mostly. They have shown up at daycares I've worked at to interact with the kids there and teach them about fire safety. They come in with the masks on and take them off so that kids don't get afraid or run away, nothing like that. You don't want that in a real scenario, so you want to practice ahead of time. And the kids get used to stop, drop, and roll. We do songs, that kind of thing. But also growing up as a kid myself in West Brighton, every year we would have Santa come down the street.
These guys have sent a truck down every street in West Brighton, as far as I know, with somebody dressed up as Santa Claus, and that goes back as far as I can remember. And my kids have fond memories of that too.
Gabe. No, he didn't read them.
Can you read it, Lily?
Dear West Brighton firefighters, thank you for showing us the fire trucks. We had a great time. Love, Lily and Gabe.
Losing the volunteer fire department, I think you're gonna miss out on the fire department, the subtle little things we do.
West Brighton's a combination department which is made up of both paid and volunteer firemen.
We believe that the setup that we have is working and working well. However, there are those that believe that's not the case. None of those people live here.
I'm really, really concerned with a system that's been in place for so long that works so well that I don't know why nobody's explained to me why the city of Rochester is or why the town of Brighton is contracting with the city of Rochester right now. It's absurd.
I just feel like the town board isn't being upfront with answers to the questions. We're all saying, why are we fixing it if it's not really that broken? We've had a volunteer fire department for over 80 years. People like this, people feel confident this is our home. And they just keep coming back with, well, we've worked on this for almost a year now and we're this close to fixing it, but they don't say why they need to change it.
Aspects of the volunteer fire department is that they're free. I mean, you have 30-some people here that are providing service for you, and they'll bend over backwards, and it's not costing the citizens anything, other than to pay for these trucks and the building and the heat and the electric here. And that's a trivial cost compared to what those people were going to cost. You don't have to pay us salaries and benefits and all of that.
Why the town of Brighton had to go with the most expensive one. In the long term, the city of Rochester will be the most expensive option.
As our two paid firefighters, they have to be EMTs. Their qualification to get hired is EMT. And if you think about it, 2 people come on an ambulance. These 2 people are just coming on a fire truck. And then we come here and they get another call and they're out. Basically, they can get to the fire and get things rolling, and by the time we get there, I mean, we're all set and ready to go in. There's just a lot of good that can come out of a combination fire department.
The city responds with 4 people. They respond with an officer, and then they respond with 3 firefighters. That is their standard deployment. They will not change that because they're coming to West Brighton, because they have to be ready to turn around and respond to the city. Our response is 2-man out, 2 people on a truck, and then the volunteers will respond on the next truck.
As opposed to just having 4 paid here and then another call comes in and what? You have to wait for another fire truck to come from 10 miles away, the complete opposite side of the city, somebody who's dying.
The city firefighters are professionals. I've worked with them for years, even before we had the mutual aid agreements. And there's no question those guys will do a good job, provided they can get here.
Now, what if Henrietta needs help? You're gonna call Rochester and have Rochester Engine 8 come out of here and go all the way to Henrietta? And what happens if we get a fire here now? Engine 8's got to leave there and come over here, or we got to have another fire department. We got to have another truck from another area of the city come. That's also bumping up response time. Leaving it this way, we just have another fire department in between. Keeps it safer.
I know the city is fairly short on manpower. By adding to their territory with no plans to increase the number of firefighters they have, it's going to stretch the city fire service quite a bit. And, we're not in the city, we're not city taxpayers. If push comes to shove, what's the city going to prioritize when it comes to coverage? And the answer is going to be the city.
They're contracting out to a private organization called the West Brighton Fire Department, Inc. It's a separate, not-for-profit organization. It is not the town of Brighton. It is not the city of Rochester. It's an organization that's been put up by citizens 86 years ago.
The referendum coming up on August 28th is going to give the residents of this part of town the opportunity to have their voices heard. We can't stop this whole process or not. My concern is that people are not going to come out to vote, and understanding this issue is very complex.
We know how to step up to the plate, and we know how to fight for what is right and for what is best for our community and for our volunteer firefighters who have stood up for us and been there for us. It's now our turn to stand up for them.
The way the volunteer fire department here sees it is that we're burdened with the control of the town of Brighton, and they're heavy-handed, that we got to do it their way, and their way, they don't really know how to run a fire department. They haven't had the expertise. There's no one at that town board that knows anything about fire departments. And it's in our best interest to dissolve a fire protection district and create a fire district, which would be made up of 5 commissioners voted from this community to run the fire department, and they would dictate what goes on here and not the town board. And keeping in mind that no one on the town board lives in West Brighton, so they have no vested interest in what goes on here.
I am a citizen of the town of Brighton. I am also a taxpayer, and I am a voter. And I think that's something that perhaps some people are forgetting a little bit in all of this. That, you know, I put you in the job, I pay your salary, so in essence you work for me. And are you doing what you are charged to do by me?
I'm very proud to be the chief of the fire department. I take the job seriously. I think the people that volunteer and the people that work here do a great job, and they give a good service to the town. It's unfortunate that we're having this situation now with the town board. Hopefully it'll all come out where everybody gets a win-win situation out of this.
We would like to pave the way into our new district. We can only do that with your vote. So please come out on Tuesday, August 28th, and show your support to our volunteer staff.